So it is now time for the first post-election Q&A brought to you by Candid. If you would like to participate in future Q&As, you can visit the Humanist Report group on the Candid app, available on iOS and Android. So let's go ahead and get to the questions. Do you think the Dems will move back to the left now after this embarrassing loss? Maybe we'll see another Bernie run in 2020, or maybe even a Warren run. I think this is their only real choice now. I think that one of two things will happen. So either they're going to move to the left or the right. And Democrats are very stupid, so it is possible that they move to the right. So if Donald Trump is able to get through a lot of legislation, having Congress on his side, then I think that will make him look effective and potentially make him popular. And if Democrats see that Donald Trump's idiotic policies are popular, they might move to the right to compete. So it depends. Whatever they do and where they are positioned on the political spectrum, it's going to be up to Republicans. If Donald Trump kind of moves the party to the left, Democrats will respond by moving to the left. But again, I don't know if they're going to pull their heads out of their asses. So yeah, Bernie might run in 2020. I'm not sure, but if they try to shoot down progressives, it's going to backfire yet again. Hey Mike, do you think Bernie will run in 2020? Could he manage it? Would you support him? So I'm not sure if he's going to run. I think if he's healthy, he will run, because I think he cares too much about this country to not run. And I would absolutely unequivocally support Bernie Sanders. He already has my support. There's many people who I would support, Tulsi Gabbard, Nina Turner, but Bernie Sanders, if he wants to run, he has my support. Any true progressive that wants to run will have my support, and I hope that you'll support them too. Anyone else psyched that now we have someone on the right to rally around and hate? Maybe now we can see a real shift leftward as a response. I received a message from one of my friends saying, the Bernie people were right. Holy shit. I'll back Tulsi in 2020. We want to get rid of Trump. So when you have a common enemy, I think it is something that can unite a coalition. And I don't want to call us a party. I want to call us a coalition of Greens, of Democrats, of Independents. We are progressives. I don't give a shit about your party affiliation, so I do think that this will be something that unites us. Mike, how do you do it? I keep trying to tell people about the reality of this election and nonpartisan issues like the widespread voter suppression, and it keeps falling on deaf ears. I see my friends and family upset and devastated, and I'm trying to give them the info they need to know what they're up against with the system, and it's like trying to teach zombies to read. They don't want to know. How do you deal with this willful ignorance? Well, for me, I kind of am in an echo chamber, right? Because my audience subscribes because they like the views that I'm espousing. So when I talk about a certain policy, they're most likely to agree rather than disagree with me. So I kind of get affirmation, and it doesn't necessarily feel like the world is against me because of that. So that's kind of something that is difficult that I try to balance out. So I really try to go through the comments, and I try to look for objective criticism of my commentary just to make sure that I am being progressive, that I am being objective, because it can be difficult. But with that being said, the people that I communicate with online are different than people in my real life. Like, I have people that I know that are incredibly conservative, that are Tea Party members, that are pro-Trumpers, and when I talk to them, it makes my head almost explode. So, I think that it makes you feel better keeping company with other progressives. So when I feel bad, I'll go through and I'll watch a Kyle Kalinske video. I'll watch a David Pakman video, a Tim Black video. So that way I can hear someone saying, and it makes me feel better that, I'm not alone. But, sometimes it does get tough. People in the real world, like the Democratic establishment, and no matter what we tell them, it seems like they don't want to listen to us. So that is tough. That is a hard pill for us to swallow as progressives. But, you've got to keep going, because if you have facts on your side, if you try to be objective, you're already a winner, regardless if you're successful, so we just keep going no matter what. Hey, Mike, if you want some good news, I got one of the developers at Valve to start following you. I don't know if you play any of their games, but they really are fantastic, and the guy Chet is really cool. That's all. Hey, thank you so much. The fact that you get anyone to follow me, I think is so great, because you guys are what's really helping me grow this show. But the fact that someone from Valve is following me, it makes me feel great. I love Valve. I have a Steam account with lots and lots and lots of games. I probably spent a little bit too much money on games that I haven't played yet on Steam, but I love them. I love their games. I love Portal. It's one of, I think, the best games. That's awesome. Thank you. Mike, will Trump be able to revert the Paris agreements about the environment? As an outsider and someone of your age, this is my main concern. That's tricky. that's really tricky because he can't unilaterally do it to an extent, because when you sign a treaty, it bounds the entire country. So I don't think that he could do it unilaterally, but he can state his intent, as an executive action to bail out of it. And then after those 4 years are up where we're bound by it, he can pull out. So for now, I don't know that he can do that right away. I don't know that he has the authority. It's really complex. So I'm not sure about this, but I know he's certainly going to try, and that's something that's bad. Hey, Mike, do you think the Dem establishment and the mainstream media will blame Bernie and millennials for Trump? They can certainly try. I don't know how many of them are doing this. It seems like they're starting to realize, or at least some of them are, that you can't run a historically disliked candidate and think the base will be enthusiastic about it. You can't run a campaign based on fear and expect people to mobilize against someone. You want people to come out for someone. So I don't know who they're going to blame. I know that Hillary Clinton and her team will not take responsibility, but they can try to blame us. Not happening. We did everything right. They did everything wrong. I mean, literally everything wrong. They did it. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Mike, I look forward to your take on this election, and I have 2 questions I hope you will answer in your first post-election video. How long do you think it will take someone to assassinate Trump? And what would you say to people looking to move to Germany before Trump is sworn in? Well, first of all, let me just say that I don't want anyone to assassinate Trump, and I hope that nobody attempts this. I hope that we don't resort to violence. We can mobilize and we can fight his policies. We don't have to do that. I think that that's despicable, and anyone who would recommend that, I wholeheartedly, unequivocally condemn them, because we are a civilized nation. We don't take out our political opponents like authoritarians do in other countries. We don't do that here. So I hope it doesn't happen. And I'm hopeful that we have enough sense in this country to not do that. Also, as for people wanting to move to Germany, I don't know any advice on how to get citizenship, but I think Germany is a great country. And if you want to flee the country specifically because of Trump, I disagree with that. I think we need you here. If you're a progressive, please stay and fight with us. Many of us can't leave. We need you here. You are our ally. Please don't go anywhere. However, if you want to leave the country just to benefit yourself, to get, take advantage of their free college tuition, go for it. But please, let's stay and fight together. We need every single progressive. You are important. You matter. You can help us. Hey, Mike, just wanted to say 2 things. 1, I can't get that "Why You Always Lying" song out of my head because of your videos. And keep up the good work and keep spreading the truth out there. It's catchy. It's really catchy. So you're welcome for that. And thank you. Hello, Mike. This may be a dumb question, but will you continue to follow Jill's movement after the election? I've just started watching your stuff, and you give some awesome feedback in your videos. Well, thank you so much. Jill Stein will forever be a hero to me. I knew that she wasn't going to win. My goal in supporting her, and the goal of many progressives in supporting her, was to help bolster the movement of the Green Party, and I think that Jill Stein has a lot of political power now. I don't know what she's going to do with it, but she has an opportunity to be a big voice in the progressive movement, so I absolutely will continue to follow her. She's an idol to me. That's never going to change. Bernie Sanders is an idol to me. That will never change. So we have a lot of progressive heroes in this movement to follow. Jill Stein is definitely one of them. So that's all the questions we have. I want to thank you all for submitting your questions and for joining the discussion on the Humanist Report group on Candid. If you would like to participate in the next Q&A, you can download the Candid app on iOS or Android. I look forward to seeing you guys there and potentially answering your questions next week.